From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
On today's episode, Matthew Shiltz will suit up for the Ticats against Ottawa tomorrow, and I'll talk about where he will fit into the depth chart for the game against the Redblacks. The newly acquired 6'9" O-lineman Jordan Murray will start for the Cats at right tackle, and he talks about making his return to the CFL. Tunde Adeleke will be returning to his hometown of Ottawa, Ontario, and he sat down with me to discuss being back in the nation's capital, and Brian Simmons is on the show to break down tomorrow's game. It's Thursday, September 7th, 2023, and you're listening to Ticats Today. The Ticats are back in action tomorrow night at 7:30 Eastern Time in Ottawa, and they've released the depth chart, and there's some exciting news. Quarterback Matthew Shiltz will dress and will fit in as the third-string quarterback in tomorrow's game. It's unlikely he sees any action, but this is very positive news to see him back practicing and now suiting up in a game. And the craziest part about all of this is when he was injured initially, there was belief that this could be a season-ending injury, but here he is with plenty of time to go in the season, and he's made an incredible recovery and returns to the Ticats roster, backing up Taylor Powell. Omar Bayless will go in at slot receiver, and that's a guy who's just worked his tail off all season, trying to get a chance to fit back into this offense, and here he is getting his shot, taking over in the spot Duke Williams has been in all season long. Another big addition to the O-line, and I mean big, is that the 6'9", 325-pound O-lineman Jordan Murray will make his first start since rejoining the team, and he'll fit in at right tackle. He spoke about being back in the black and gold and making the start today.
I'm feeling great, very excited, very blessed for the opportunity, just ready to get the pads on, start hitting people, and get a dub.
You got a couple familiar faces next to you. Or on the O-line with you. You have Rev and Coulter. How have they been getting yourself adjusted here coming back?
They've been great. Some of the things are consistent from when I was here a couple years ago, and it's just refreshing that stuff and just the little cues for certain plays. And the big thing is just getting the chemistry on the field in game reps and stuff like that. So, but they've been great, helping me out and getting me right.
And how was it knowing you were going to be returning here to Hamilton?
It was awesome. It was very awesome. Knowing, being in the NFL on practice squad for 2022, the goal is always to be your best in my eyes, is to be my best, do whatever I can, the best that I can do it. And having the opportunity to come back has just been great, especially with an organization like Hamilton, who gave me my first pro opportunity. And just to come back and give back to the team and everything I can, do my job to win. It's a great feeling knowing that Hamilton wanted me back and that I'm able to play with guys who are trying to go get wins.
What's it been like working with Coach Gibson and just getting adjusted?
It's been great. It's the same O-line coach that I had when I was here in 21. So just talking with him, extra meetings, extra time to just make sure I have the foundation of what we're doing on the game plan, and executing it on game day is what matters.
You've had a quick turnaround here that's been the talk all week. A few days in between practices and some light practices, or one light practice, and then you have your walkthrough today. How are you feeling in preparedness heading into your game, and are you ready to go here against Ottawa?
Absolutely. In the off season, I train hard. Before I got here, the whole month of August, I trained hard. So the foundation of preparation is there. Game reps. That's where I get to put it all on the line, so I'm super prepared in that regard. Mentally, I'm getting prepared. You're not prepared fully mentally until, that whistle blows on game day, because you get that second flip the switch, and then it's go time. So, I'm prepared. I'm ready.
That was Jordan Murray, and he's a guy who I'm excited to see what he can do in this one. Tunde Adeleke has been solid for the Cats all season and will return to his hometown of Ottawa, Ontario, where he played university and high school football to play against the Redblacks. Tunde made it clear it's just another game when he sat down with me today.
It's nice. It's nice to be able to play in front of my family and a lot of my friends, so that's a big thing about it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of just a regular game for me. It's like I went through the woes when I was my first and second year getting back to Ottawa, but at this point, it's just another game of the season for me.
Do you have some friends and family that'll be heading down maybe more than normal?
Yeah, for sure. It's nice because I get to get my whole family at the game, like everyone except for my brother kind of thing. So, yeah, going back to Ottawa, that's the best thing about it for me is just getting my family at the game. But at the end of the day, I need to come out with a win.
This week has been a weird week. You had from the Labor Day Classic on Monday, you have one light practice and then a walkthrough, and then you're right back at it. How are you feeling heading into this game?
I think a big thing about this week is we have a lot of veterans on the team, so we're able just to the last week didn't go as it was supposed to, but now all we have is this week. So, yeah, it sucks that we don't have the 3 days of prep, but I think everyone took it upon themselves to do what they could in their own time and things like that.
One thing I wanted to mention to you, during the game against Toronto, they put a video up on the board of your Ravens days and some of your highlight reel packs. Like it seemed like every single highlight was you intercepting the ball, then bringing it back for another 80 yards. It just seemed like you were in a league of your own in those days.
Yeah, I'm not trying to gas myself up.
Sorry, I'm gassing you up right now.
Yeah, no, I did pretty good in college, and I was lucky enough to have good players around me and good coaching. So I guess I did my thing, was able to showcase my talent, and I was lucky enough to get drafted into this league and have the career I'm having right now.
You head to Ottawa, a team that you guys have had success against. They're coming off a bye week. What do you need to do on that defense to try and shut them down and keep them off the board?
A nice thing about this short week is we've played Ottawa 2 times already, right? So we kind of understand, and it's like we're midway through the season, so everyone kind of knows who they are. So we kind of know what we're getting from their offense and what we need to do on defense to stop them. We know Crum's a solid quarterback who can run, and they have good targets at receiver, and Braylon's there now, so we know him firsthand. So, yeah, we know a lot about these guys, and we just got to go out there and play the defense we've played multiple times against them. Yeah,
Crum being kind of that dual threat guy, you guys have seen him twice now. Just, is it a little bit different of a mindset when you play a guy against a QB like that?
Yeah. You have to kind of have a clock in your head, knowing that if we cover well and everyone does their job perfectly, he's able to run right now, and he's a threat in that aspect too. So you kind of just get a clock and know that I've got to cover this guy, I got to drop into my zone, but I also got to be ready to stop the quarterback.
They're sitting right below you in the East Division. A win here could potentially tie, or a win for them could potentially tie them with you. How big is it just to get some space between you two?
Yeah, this is huge. It's a 4-point swing. So this is these East games. No matter who we're playing, we need these wins. And Ottawa. Right now we're fighting for third in the East, and this is a huge one, and every game really is big for us.
That was Tunde Adeleke. It's time now I bring on my next guest to break down the upcoming matchup in Ottawa, Brian Simmons. Brian, the Cats coming off a loss to the Argos now have to quickly turn their attention to the Ottawa Redblacks just 4 days later. How do you think the Ticats match up against the Redblacks?
I think they match up well. I think they had a good game plan last time when they played them, and we all do have to remember, though, things can change. I'm sure Ottawa is not going to come out with the same, exact play call. So, but I will say matchup-wise, I think they match up well with them. I really think, they do.
The Ticats have only 4 days between games. The Redblacks are coming off of a bye week. How much of an advantage is that for Ottawa?
It is an advantage because I remember when I used to play in the Labor Day Classic, we had a quick turnaround against Toronto, and usually that second game was pretty chippy, coming off that first one. But as far as rest, I would definitely say Ottawa they do have an advantage, but at the same time, some guys might be rusty with that much time off, versus Hamilton. These guys they just played a couple of days ago. I imagine they couldn't have had more than one real legit practice this week, I would think.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm not sure. That's how I figured, yeah. So with that said, it's like I feel like they might still be in rhythm, whereas Ottawa might not be in rhythm.
Yeah, true. There's definitely 2 ways to look at it. They've been very light at practice today. Right now, as we speak, they're out there doing their walkthrough. So really only one light day of practice on that really hot day yesterday. The Ticats seem to be better for some reason on the road this year. They have 3 of their 4 wins come on the road. Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just the way of the schedule, or maybe these Tim Hortons Field crowds are too loud?
That's something I've never been on a team that has had more success on the road. That is one thing you don't see, especially in football. I feel like of all sports, away and home games, it really matters the most in football.
For sure.
The fans they're so involved with the game, but. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whatever they're doing in those road games, they need to, try to whip up that recipe for the home games as well. I know I always love playing on the road because I love the underdog mentality. I love running out in the field and being booed and people expecting me to lose. I like I like the comeback story. So
Yep.
I don't know what it is they're doing on the road, but maybe they need to put some of that in the water for the home game.
Yeah, it's like these guys kind of like playing with that chip on their shoulder, which I guess in a way that is kind of Ticats football. Now, Dustin Crum will be the quarterback for Ottawa once again, a guy you spent some time with during training camp. What does
hmm
he bring? We've seen him twice now, but what can he bring on a good day for this Ottawa offense?
Well, I'll tell you this, Braden, and some people may disagree, but I will say that guy has no fear, and he might be the toughest quarterback in this league.
Okay,
Like
hot
he
take.
has no shame. I actually had a chance to talk to him when they played at Toronto a few weeks ago,
Hmm.
and he just like just reckless abandon. Like I'm like, you're a quarterback, you got to protect yourself, and he's like, I can handle it. I can handle it. So this is a guy that will try to run through you if he can, and he's getting better in the passing game as well. But I honestly think Hamilton, they have a great game plan for him. They did the same thing against Vernon Adams Jr. and just got to contain him and not give him any easy looks. And most importantly, you got to stop that run game. And I honestly think that's what kind of hurt them in his previous game because I feel like Chad Kelly didn't really have a game that blew you away. But when you have AJ sitting there keeping the pace going, and setting things up, it opens the door. So
Yeah.
they have to stop that run game. They really do.
And on the Ticats side, we have James Butler, who had 11 carries against Toronto. Is that a guy who needs more touches?
Yeah, it is, Braden, but I also understand, what Scott was doing. I mean, it's like when you get behind, you have to score quick, and the run game is not always the quickest way to score. I want to say before those late scores in the game, I think we only had 13 points. So with that said, it's like I totally understand, his thinking, yeah, and they still had him involved, even though he wasn't. He was catching it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're right. When you go down 17 points in the first quarter, I mean, you're going to try and
Yeah.
claw back in a quicker way than the run game. A couple new
hmm
additions to this Ticats offense. Number one being is Jordan Murray will be sitting in at right tackle. He played for the Ticats back in 2021. He's was an excellent player. He's a 6'9", 325-pound O lineman. So bringing some size to that O line. Do you like the move there?
Oh yeah, I do. I before the Labor Day game, I actually went down on the field and I got a chance to see him in person. And it's not very often that I see someone that makes me feel normal. This he's a big
No.
man and he's well put together.
Yeah.
Like this is not a sloppy 320. Like this is a lean 320. And
Yep.
I would be honest and say I haven't watched him play a lot, but for them to sign him and to have that kind of size and you're coveted in this league, it lets me know that you can move
Hmm.
because you have to be able to move in this league. These guys are ultra fast and ultra quick, and it'll give those defensive linemen something else to think about because they haven't seen film on this guy since 2021.
For
So
sure.
I definitely think it'll be good for the lineup. I think it'll definitely increase the run game and it'll probably make the pass protection even better.
And Taylor Powell, he will be your quarterback once again. I thought he had a pretty good game against Toronto. He did get sacked 5 times. How do you think he played in that one, and what do you want to see from him in this one?
Well, me personally, and I'm not knocking any of the writers out there, but I have seen some people writing that they felt like he played horrible, and I don't think he played horrible, Braden. I
No.
think he played a solid enough game and he gave us a chance to win the game. I do think he can continue to improve on the quick decision making. That's
Mhm.
a thing. I know people probably get tired of me saying it, but quarterback, I mean, even more so than your accuracy, it's your decision making. That is the hardest part about it, and you got to make those choices very quick. I thought he played well. I expect him to continue to improve, and in all honesty, I think he's just going to keep getting better and better. Like I want to say he had like 71% passing,
Yeah.
one interception, which I'm not sure was that a tip pass. I can't remember that
I
interception.
think that was when he went outside of the pocket, and I'm trying to remember that
hmm
play. But yeah, I think there was a little bit of pressure on him for sure.
Yeah, so I mean, I personally think he played a solid enough game, to get a W on the board personally, and he just got to keep doing what he does, and not let the noise get to him. He
Hmm.
seems like he's pretty focused. I listen to him when he's interviewed, and he seems like he's pretty focused. He's not listening to outside noise.
No, he definitely gives off that vibe and talking to him every day. And I don't know if he even really likes talking to the media, but he's always very calm and poised when he does. But right behind him on that depth chart, or a couple spots behind him,
The third string quarterback will be Matthew Schiltz. I think that's a good sign of him possibly coming back in the near future. Is that would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think that means he's definitely working his way back, and I'm dating myself again. That's another guy that I'm familiar with. His rookie season in
Yep.
Montreal, that was my last, and I know him well, and that's another guy I just want to see him do great. I think he's a very tough guy, and he continues to improve as well. So with him being back on the depth chart, that definitely is a great thing. It definitely means he's getting healthy.
Yeah, and the last move I want to talk about on the offense is with Duke Williams gone, now you have Omar Bayless who goes in at slot. He limited time this season, but a guy when you watch him play in practice and when you watch him play in training camp, he's very fast, he's very mobile. Do you like the move there?
Yeah, I do like the move there. I think Duke is a very talented receiver. I mean, a guy that big and physical is a big body guy. But I also think it's like if you have to replace a guy with that kind of skill, what would you choose? Why not choose a guy, with blazing speed?
Yeah.
So I definitely think, that'll open up the offense because even if he doesn't catch the ball, if he just run a go route or a fly route,
Yep.
they have to respect that, and it's going to open up things underneath. So I think it's a great move.
Yeah, and another thing about him that kind of reminds me of Duke Williams is Omar is also a very lanky, tall receiver. So, in a way, a similar body type to a Duke Williams and a guy who I feel is going to fit in nicely. If you had to give me a couple keys to victory here for the Ticats, what would you say?
Honestly, I think, and this is something should carry with them every game. They just have to start faster as an entire unit.
Yes.
Let's not get down 17 and nothing. Let's not, let's make it competitive and keep it competitive from the beginning and just start fast. Because I feel like last game they didn't start as well. Then they kind of got it going, and then they lulled, and then they kind of got it going again. So it's like you gotta stay on it, and it's easier said than done, Brayden. Like we can sit up here and talk, but we gotta remember those guys get paid too.
Yeah.
So it's easier said than done, but they just gotta find a way to make it happen.
Before we go, Brian, I believe you had a pretty busy day today. You had a little one on his first day in kindergarten.
Yeah. His first day at JK, we're all excited for him, and I'm excited to hear how his day went when I get home.
Awesome. Well, that's amazing, and congratulations to him on starting that big first day in kindergarten. And hopefully next time we talk to you, like I say every time, we'll be talking about a Ticats victory. So, Brian, thanks again for joining me today, buddy.
No problem, Brayden. Take care.
Big thanks to Brian Simmons for being on the show today, and I'd also like to thank Tunde Adeleke and Jordan Murray for joining as well. Ticats fans, if you're looking to get coverage for the game, then make sure to tune into the Ticats audio network at listen.ticats.ca. There's going to be tons of coverage right there, so make sure to check it out. That's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for listening to Ticats Today.